Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
Ms. Lovely Bride Wanda, your Lieutenant Governor, what's her name over there? You should know her face because she should have been here. We have our Georgia District Executive Director, Alexa Lieber, her husband, past International President Bill Lieber, immediate past Governor George Elkin, and your incoming Lieutenant Governor,
the other old what's her name?
The other old what's her name? Hey. You're not going to get tired of that face. So anyway, it's great to be here with you all tonight. I say a lot of clubs that we have 7 clubs this year who have their 100th anniversary. And I said to 6 out of 7 of them, I may not have visited them before, but as in my position, I don't get the chance to visit too many good clubs all the time. It's always the ones that need your help in cajoling and trying to get them to get membership up and whatever. And of course, I keep track of you on the dashboard. Who's the secretary? Who's the secretary? And the president knows I will give you a love email when I notice something. So anyway, you guys do a great job. And what's her name says she checks too.
No, I said I get your emails too.
Oh yeah! But she has to answer for several clubs, not just this club. But anyway, like I said, it's a pleasure to be here. One thing I like to do as Kiwanians is, and I don't know how often your club does it, but I think it's something we need to reiterate almost monthly, is the 6 objects of Kiwanis. That in 2 years we will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the voting in the 6 objects of Kiwanis. And our very own Georgia District, Katrina Barranco, will be governor at that year. And it's going to be in Denver.
International President.
Well, I'll give her a promotion later. You know, a lot of things go in this old head. I'm not the same as I used to be, especially after 11.5 months on the road. But anyway, they're going to celebrate the 100th anniversary in Denver, Colorado, which was where it was approved. So if you get a chance, make a point to get out to Denver in 2 years. Let me read you the objects of Kiwanis. This is what we believe in and how we should conduct our personal and club business. Object 1. To give primacy to the human and spiritual rather than the material values of life. 2. To encourage the daily living of the golden rule in all human relationships. 3. To promote the adoption and the application of higher social, business, and professional standards. 4. To develop, by precept and example, a more intelligent, aggressive, and serviceable citizenship. 5. To provide through Kiwanis clubs a practical means to inform enduring friendships, to render altruistic service, and to build better communities. To cooperate in 6. To cooperate in creating and maintaining a sound public opinion and high idealism, which makes possible the increase of righteousness, justice, patriotism, and goodwill. That is our objects of Kiwanis. I don't want to take too much time because I'm sure you have a program that you want to see, but I would like to have the president come up here because I have a couple of gifts to give. 3 years ago, Andy Pipkin, governor at that time, and I feel sorry for the governor at that time because what hit us in 2020? The big C hit us. And his year went crashing, but he started a program where we were going to celebrate 25th 50, 75, and 100 anniversaries of our clubs in Georgia District. And he put together, or Alexa may have put together this patch. But the first thing I want to give you is a 100-year patch to put on your banner in honor of this great celebration. In addition, we would like, and we put together this, I think it's a beautiful certificate. It's a certificate from the Georgia District for the 100 years of service. The Georgia District of Kiwanis is honored to recognize the 100th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club of Monroe and their exceptional meritorious service, exemplifying the objects of Kiwanis and having extraordinary impact with the Georgia District and the children of the world. I present this to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The last words that I'd like to say is, we started this journey of the 100th anniversary celebration down in Valdosta back in January. And I asked them at the time, they were fixing to turn their charter in after they got their 100th anniversary. Why would they want to wait for that? Who's going to celebrate their 100th anniversary? Who's going to keep those mementos after that if they turn their charter in? But anyway, they had some pictures of what Valdosta looked like way back in 1922. I don't think they had a paved road yet, and I certainly know 75 wasn't down there, but it was interesting to see how it was. But just think of the charter members of this Monroe Club. Just think, I'm sure somebody maybe from out of Atlanta came out to charter the club. Who was your sponsoring club? Anybody know?
I have no idea.
Who sponsored the club? Nobody knows who sponsored the club?
Ed, do you know?
Ed, do you know?
No, I'm talking about what club came in and solicited the founding members. But anyway,
Do you know?
just remember, back in 1922, what did Monroe look like? And what did they think when a bunch of people came from some other area and said, hey, let's start a Kiwanis Club? Now, the Kiwanis Club wasn't that old at the time. And it's like, they probably said, like I said this first, what is Kiwanis? So anyway, how many charter members did you have? How many charter members? Anybody know how many charter members?
It was about 31.
About 31. 31 people in this community, and probably surrounding the community, said, hey, we'll take a chance. We'll start serving the children of this community. And then it just snowballed, 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 and look what you guys are doing today. I thank you for contributing to the district projects that help the children not only in your county, not only in Georgia District, but throughout 86 countries and the world. Now, if you saw the last newsletter we got from Kiwanis International, we just gave another $100,000 to UNICEF to deliver the vaccine for neonatal tetanus. And we are going to eradicate, we still have about 11 countries left to eradicate the world of neonatal tetanus. And if you remember when we really were pushing it, it's a painful death for the baby and the mother. And it's just a couple dollar inoculation and they're cured. So that's what we do in the world. So we're a world organization, but we serve this community and you guys serve it well. I thank each and every one of you for being a Kiwanis, and I won't be here the next 100th anniversary, but invite me back for the 101st one. Thank
you. We have been here 200 years, so we have just celebrated our first century. We're getting ready to celebrate our first century as a town when the Kiwanians got together and formed a chapter here. And the benefit that your camaraderie, your love for fellow man and for the people of the city of Monroe has carried us a long way, and I appreciate the work and the efforts of every single one of you. And I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to be here tonight, and thank you for all of your service. And I love this lady.
Ed is our MVP.
Yes.
Nobody else.
You hear me?
Yep.
I was invited to join the Monroe Kiwanis Club by Dr. Kenneth Grubbs, 1970, March. The club had a membership of 70 people at that time.
Wow.
It's a little bit lower now, but we're working on it. I have a list of a few things that can be to some of you. After Kenneth invited me in March, next October he became president of the club. And he was also interested in aeronautics. So one of the first things we did was have a kite flying situation for young kids.
Sunday.
And at one of the elementary schools, there's a big field across the road. One club brought a whole bunch of kites. All wrapped up in packages. Anyway, we had about 25 kids show up. The kites were given to the kids. Ball string, some stuff to make tails for the kites. And the kids opened these things up, and they really didn't know what to do with them. But some parents that showed up, and all the Kiwanis that was available helped them. And we had kids running all over the place trying to get kites in the air. And a few of them did, but they enjoyed that. Another thing that Kenneth did, we had an air show in Monroe. And it got scheduled the day before everybody was ready for it. But on the morning that we had supposed to have the air show, we had the biggest rainstorm Walton County had ever seen. So it got canceled. About 2 weeks later, it was rescheduled. Everybody came back, and we had a big crowd. It was a big success. Except we didn't make any money on it because we had to pay everybody twice. Next was the chicken barbecue. We had that for over 50 years, probably close to 60. We had to finally get rid of that. Prices were going so high, people were getting scarce, and it was a lot of work. So we found something else. Pancake supper was another big item for us. It went for over 50 years also. And the same thing happened. But it was a little bit different structure. Monroe was a lot smaller then. People were closer together. And not only was it a fundraiser, but it was a big social event. And it's kind of disappeared as things grew. Another item was a fish fry. We hadn't had one of those before. But we got a new member. And he owned a big lake full of catfish that he was selling to people. And he said we could come out there and if we catch the fish, we could have them for the fish fry. And we did. The guy that owned the lake told us when we got there that the dock was kind of famous. And that he didn't want to see any more than 6 people on it at one time. So a little bit later in the day, we had 4 people on the dock fishing. I was on the dock taking pictures. And we had 3 people that came late. They didn't get the warning. They just came running down to the dock and like 2 or 3 minutes after they got on the dock, 8 of us were in the water. But the fish fry was successful.
You just wet.
We worked with the sheriff's office to give away car seats. That was all right. Worked out fine. We read books to kids. We've supported food drives from some other organizations. It's their project really, but we helped deliver food. We've provided some scholarships for some good many high school students. And we just realized in the last couple of years that the cost of college has gone up so high, and the size of the scholarships we were able to give was a joke. So we'll do something else. Everybody remembers Walk for Mankind. We did that for a couple of years, and they really didn't do anything for us. We did everything for them. So we changed the name to Walk for Walton. And kept it for 4 or 5 more years. It got a lot of people busy walking, but it also had a lot of people watching. It was just an interesting project. And the last thing I want to mention is the pinwheel that was just installed. There was a lot of comment about that. And that's that was a good thing. We need to thank this community for support over the past 100 years. Kiwanis couldn't have worked without them, and they wouldn't have had what Kiwanis had to offer if they hadn't been available to help with the projects. Everything we did. And I told you all this stuff. Just to let you know that that's why I personally enjoyed being Kiwanian. And I've enjoyed all the members at the club. Everything has been great as far as I'm concerned for the past 52 years.
Also with the Winder Club. It's my home club. And you may not remember this, but 97 years ago, you sponsored the Winder Club. That you are the reason the Kiwanis Club in Winder exists. And we are very grateful for that. And we have a few people here from the Kiwanis Club of Winder. My wife is also a member and the secretary. Jim Argo is our current president. And Colleen Lizardi is is one of our newest members. What a great member she is turning out to be, and she's eventually going to be President of the United States. So. But we want to just recognize your 100 years, and we appreciate that. And oh, by the way, in 2.5 years, April of 2025, you're invited to our 100th anniversary. So we'll make sure you get an invitation. But our president has a presentation for you guys for your 100 years.
All right. Thank you for allowing us to be here to join you for your celebration. And like I say, you're invited to our club when we have our 100 year celebration. And just as a friendly token, I have a check I'd like to present to you. That's from our club to yours, in appreciation of what you do, and also appreciation that you really sponsored our club and founded us in White. So thank you very much. Thank you. That's why I like to do my own introductions, because I don't say anything I'll have to live up to, you know. But my name is Steve Brown. I'm the historian for the Monroe Museum, and if you haven't been there, shame. You need to make an effort. We're open every day except Sunday and Monday from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And I promise you, if you go in there, your jaw will drop open. It's not your everyday local museum. We have the largest Facebook following of any museum in the state of Georgia, other than the Hive Museum. If you're on Facebook and you come to our page, you'll be joined by 7,000 other people who make visits on a regular basis, and you will be entertained by everything you see there, or most everything. A couple of months ago, I wrote an article about the Kiwanis Club's 100th anniversary, and it's in this edition of Walton Living. I've got some of those on the table over here. If you'd like to pick one up, you're welcome to that. Also, I brought with me about a half a dozen artifacts from our archives at the museum. There's a menu here from the 25th anniversary dinner, and then a scrapbook that Conrad gave me with some articles and things in it, and an apron. I think that apron belonged to Walter Clark. I'm not sure of the date of it, but some of the signatures on it, I would date it probably in the 1960s, 50s or 60s, something like that. And then there's also what's the date on that thing, Lynn, right there? Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a menu from 25th anniversary. So you're welcome to take a look at those. And so without further ado, I'm going to try to tell you a little about the Kiwanis Club. And I thought I knew who the sponsoring club was. I had that in my presentation, but I was wrong. That's the only time I'll be wrong tonight. All right, the Monroe Kiwanis Club had an organizational meeting on the 19th of September in 1922, and then they were actually chartered on February the 8th, 1923, at a meeting they had, and I think there were something like 80 members at that meeting. And it took place at the Monroe Hotel, or the Hotel Monroe, which stood where the Wells Fargo Bank is today, and was there from 1920 until 1964, when it was torn down to make way for the bank. That was the Farmers Bank then. But the thing is, that hotel was beautiful, but there was a beautiful house there that was moved for the hotel to be built. So progress is progress, you know. The first president of your club was Emmett Williams. Emmett Williams, I'm sure nobody in here remembers him, Emmett Williams. His son, Booth Williams, was the mayor in 1960. This picture, Emmett's the guy in the white suit, and Booth, his son, is the guy in the dark pants and the white shirt. That thing moving? So Emmett Williams had a degree in engineering, a degree in law, an educational degree. He was a lawyer, he was an engineer, he built bridges and schools. He was a school principal for a while. If you ask him for a donation for advertisement in the high school yearbook, he would put Emmett Williams, General Flunky. The reason he's standing with that congregation in front of the hotel is he's just been named the safest driver in the state of Georgia. He's driven over 1 million miles without an accident, and he and his wife were on the way to a convention of safe drivers somewhere. I forgot where that took place, but he was a character.
Did he get there?
No, he was killed on the way. He did get there. Yes, he certainly did. All right. A little later, and this, politics kind of make their way into everything. And in 1924, the Kiwanis Club erected a large sign to advertise their club, and they erected it. At that time, Emmett Williams was head of a commission that was trying to get the highway paved from Monroe to Atlanta. And parts of it had been paved, and they were trying to pave it by Stone Mountain. And so they put their sign up out there where they hoped the highway would be paved. And that's kind of what that's about. They finally did get, and if you look at the way people drove from Atlanta to Athens. I've got a thing that Athens put out in the 19-teens when cars were just catching on, and they were trying to encourage people to make road trips here and there. And to make your way from Atlanta to Athens, it was like a wagon train going to California from somewhere. The direction's unbelievable, but they did eventually get the road paved all the way. This announced meeting club Friday night. Oh, I was going to point out that Dr. S.B. Sanford, for whom Sanford Stadium is named, was at that meeting when they were talking about the sign. In 1931, your Kiwanis Club sponsored a Greater Georgia Day. And you'll notice that date, that was right after the Depression started in '29. And the whole idea behind this was to encourage people to it's kind of like the shop small, shop local. Now, we're trying to get people to buy things at home, to stay at home, trying to get farmers to stay on the farms and raise crops, live at home, buy at home, stay on the farm, and stop leaving farms so that there were vacant farms. They thought if they could do that, the surplus produce, surplus in agricultural products would lower the prices on everything. So live at home and buy at home. And this is a group of gentlemen from this club. This is in 1931, and I can't name all of these people. There's a few of them I can name. I know the... Do what?
They could have played croquet after they're all dressed in white.
Yeah, I think actually they had played a game of croquet before this started.
Where it all got started.
But let's see. I know Ernest Camp, the editor of the Tribune, is there, and Ed Caldwell, who's editor of the Walton News, is there, and there's a few others, but I can't name all those people. I'm not that old. All right, so this is an interesting article. I'll just let y'all read that for yourself. All right, what this says, the article is written about a street in All City, Pennsylvania, where the Kiwanis Club had a membership of 80 members, and 13 of them lived on Colwell Avenue. And of those 13, 5 had been club presidents, and the street was only 1,300 feet long. Well, that sounds great, but Monroe could do better. So in Monroe, the Kiwanis membership was 36 at the time. This is 1936, 36. 11 of them lived on Walton Street. There were 7 club presidents that lived on Walton Street, and it was 1,400 feet long. So we had one Kiwanis member for every 100 citizens in town, which beat Oil City, Pennsylvania. And just looking through some of the things this club has done over the years, here's an example one in 1936. They hosted or sponsored boys and girls summer camps, day camps, over a long stretch of years. One of the things that they did that impacted the whole community was they built and sponsored Kiwanis Field, which was a location for a football field. They actually played softball down there, and this newspaper is talking about the dedication of that field. I know you can't see that picture. It's a reproduction of a reproduction, whatever, but the guy on this side over here is Red Barron, who's president of the Monroe A&M School, which is located up at Walker Park. He was also a star athlete at Georgia Tech. But the Kiwanis Field was located where Childress Park is today, basically. And the first game played there was between the Monroe A&M Aggies and Georgia Military College's football team. Unfortunately, we lost that game. And there were also, as you can see, softball games there. Now I've got a clip here of a football game played down there. If you look at this, that lineup, they're fixing to snap the ball. That's Ronnie Harris at quarterback. And this is 1956, I believe. If they were there today, they'd be standing in the middle of that lake that's down there. But there's something unique about this. So I'd like for you to watch the play, and then we'll go into to what makes it unique. Watch for the flash bulb. Boom, there's a touchdown. I forgot the guy's name that ran the touchdown. And here's the extra point, which never got off the ground. All right, did you notice something unusual about that?
Well, he kicked the ball.
Well, that was pitiful, but
He kicked it straight on.
The opposite direction. I don't know whether the Kiwanis Club ran out of money or what, but if you were on the west end of the field, if you kicked the ball through the uprights, it would land in the creek. So whenever anybody scored on that end of the field, they had to go to the other end and kick the extra ball. That was that's all historical because that's the city spring. The spring is still there. It fills that lake up down there. And those of you that have paid attention know that our town's first name was Spring Place. And it was named for those springs down there. But so maybe that was it. The Kiwanis Club didn't want to cover the spring up. All right, so in the 1940s, the Kiwanis Club began sponsoring what amounted to a Halloween carnival, and that was in 1940. They held that in the new armory, which is the Nowell Recreation Center. If you're familiar with that, where that is, that was built as a National Guard armory. That was actually Monroe's first real armory. The National Guard had drilled upstairs in Aycock's warehouse, and also where Peyton Pettis' business is now, upstairs of that building. That was the first armory they built, and the National Guard made that available to the Kiwanis Club and other organizations for different social functions that they had. And the Kiwanis Club sponsored the Halloween carnival there each year. They also, as this points out, gave the purpose of the carnival was to raise money for the Underprivileged Children's Fund. 1943, they held a blood drive. This is at the height of World War II, and had 152 people participate in that. 47, they hosted the Scouts at a dinner, and this was not, these are headlines that I have, but these things happen on a yearly basis, an annual thing. They would have a dinner for the Scouts. and different organizations like that. And this is another one that had a great impact on the community. The Kiwanis Club started sponsoring a teen can. This again was in the National Guard Armory, and every weekend that armory would be open for teenagers to come in and dance and play different games and all, or if you like me, try to dance or watch people dance. But it was good, clean fun, and the National Guard and the Junior Service League sponsored or had chaperones there for all those dances and all. So a great thing. Went on for a long time. Senior class, 1947, honored at a party by the Kiwanis Club. And that senior class party started in 1926 and probably went a lot further, continued into the 1960s. And then the Kiwanis Club had their 25th anniversary in 1947. Here's a picture of the program from the menu, and we've got that over here if you want to take a look at it after we finish. But this is the inside. This is a menu from 1922 when the club was founded, and then from that celebration in 1947. And all of these dishes are named for members of the club. I don't know that means that those particular people prepared those dishes, but they are named for them. This is an invitation to that dinner that belonged to Mr. Cox. And here is a picture of members. I don't think this is presidents. I think this is members of the club at that 25th anniversary. There's some very distinguished people in this group. This again is Ed Caldwell, Walton News, and the two Aycock brothers that owned the Aycock department stores, and Mr. J.L. McGarity, who was, he would be mayor. He was not mayor at this time, but he'd be mayor by 1950. Ran the Ford dealership. And here's the Kiwanis Club feeding all the teachers in Walton County. This is 1950, and that's Denton Hall, which was Monroe's first, and at that time, only gymnasium. Today, that's the sanctuary for the Grace Monroe Church over on Madison Avenue. The Kiwanis Club also sponsored the pig chain. Anybody know what that is? So the Kiwanis Club, if you were a teenager, and I don't think you had to be in the 4-H club. You might, I'm not sure whether that was a requirement or not, but they would give you a pig, and then you raised the pig. The pig had little pigs, and then when it did, you gave 2 of those piglets back to the Kiwanis Club, and then they passed those 2 on to 2 other students, and so the chain grew exponentially like that.
We need to start that back then.
I agree. I think you should be in charge. This is a picture of a Kiwanis gathering, and I don't know the occasion. It's at the American Legion dining hall that was out on Alcovey Street, and this happened in the mid-1950s. I would tell you who everybody in the picture is, but you wouldn't know them, so I'm not going to tell you. Kiwanis Club always maintained their decorum, and this is a picture of some participants in the pancake supper. I think Ed mentioned the pancake supper. That's Kidd, can't think of his first name. Jim Kidd, vice president of the bank. This is John Lanyas, and this is Buck Lowry, who owned Carmichael's Drugs. And this is Ralph Toller, who had participated or organized the pancake suppers. I think this is from 1984, and he'd been organizing the supper for over 30 years when that picture was made. And this is Mr. Hap Shores, who at the time of this picture had been a member of the club, if I can read that, 57 years.
Wow. And notice it was the Walton Tribune
That's right. And many more that you'll see. All right. To go back to what I said, this club has always had a high level of character and leadership in the community. And that was never displayed more than at the Riverboat floor show in 1957. So let me see. This is that's going to be it. This is just a picture made. But Cap Aycock, again, Jim Kidd, Vice President of the bank, Julian Brown, who was the extension agent, Bernard Butts, who was bank. I think he was Vice President of the bank, and Booth Williams, the mayor, the mayor.
I'll do that next year.
And that last one here is Dr. Martin. He was my dentist when I was growing up. I think Ed also mentioned the chicken barbecue. And here's Darrell Morris handing out barbecued chicken on the courthouse lawn. And this is 1958. I'm not sure you can get away with that today.
Let's do it right there. Let's don't do that anymore.
A few other things I'd mention. The Kiwanis Club organized the sweet potato farmers of Walton County. At one time, Walton County was a leading producer of sweet potatoes, and part of that was due to the organization and participation of the Kiwanis Club in that. They had tonsil clinics where they paid for tonsillectomies for kids all over the county that could not afford those. In 1940s, they pledged $22,000 in war bonds. And they sponsored an exchange student from Germany in 1953 exactly. Okay, here is a picture of club presidents starting in 1942 and going to 1972, and by golly, one of those is here with us tonight. Let's see. This good-looking fella up here in the corner. Take a bow, Sidney. That's the end of my show, folks.
Hi, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. Today we're in my messy office because the gallery and shop are busy and kind of noisy. It's Dino Day here in Monroe. It's one of the big event days that Monroe does. We do Unicorn Day in April, and then we do Dino Day in September. And then next month we have Fall Fest coming up on the 8th of October. But we've got workshops going on. We have an acrylic pour workshop going on, a clay pottery project, which is building a dinosaur and glazing it, face painting, and then lots of dinosaur items for sale. So it's a really fun day. Lots of families have been out today and kids, and it's just so much fun to do. 12 to 15 of our artists who are going to set up pop-up shops outside the Art Center. Of course, the city also has the farmers market and the artisans that sign up through the city as well. So tons of shopping opportunities, getting a jump on your Christmas shopping, and just fun family activities. Costume contests for pets and for people, so don't forget that. Also, hopefully in mid-October, it might be the beginning of November, but hopefully by mid-October we'll have our tickets on sale for the Christmas tour. The Christmas home tour is really shaping up. I think we've got 8 homes on the tour, and a couple of lofts downtown, which is really kind of fun to see how people live and decorate in the lofts above the businesses downtown. It will almost be a walking tour. So far it's kind of shaping up that a lot of the homes are kind of close to each other. There are a couple of homes that are out of town that you'd have to drive to. Shirley Smith's house is on the tour. Some of y'all may know her as the Christmas lady. She lives out on Double Springs Road, I think. Her home is on the tour and it's just fabulously decorated, worth the drive. But a lot of the homes are here in downtown, and so that will be fun to just be able to walk to a lot of the homes. So that's December 10th. Mark that on your calendar. It's a fundraiser for us and for the Monroe Junior Women's Club. And I believe we're kind of doing a tandem add-on with the McDaniel Titchener House. We are kind of firming up some plans with them, so we'll be announcing more about that later, but perhaps a candlelight tour of a couple of extra homes, like from 5 to 7 o'clock that evening, and a reception and cookies and stuff at the McDaniel Titchener House. So it's kind of special and kind of different this year. Still firming that up, but I think that's going to happen. So we've got tons of events, tons of classes going on. I'm really pleased. We have Camden Ecker here now, who is teaching our oils painting class. She's proctoring an open studio, also teaching drawing, kind of 101 kind of class, and private lessons. So she is a very realistic, kind of a classical painter. So she is a great addition to who we have here as teachers. So really pleased about that. And then we also have our usual things going on ASAP, the After School Arts Program. Had a delayed start this year, but it's going to start in October. Pottery is going on. The adult pottery classes, I think, are mostly full, but Rebecca is keeping a wait list. So if you're interested in pottery, the sooner you get on that wait list, the better. So don't let that deter you from contacting us. So come by, pick up a class list. It's always updated. I update it because we're always adding new things in. Update it at least weekly, if not a couple of times a week, because we have new things coming up. So come by, get one of these. Go to our website, MonroeWaltonArts.org. You'll see everything on there that we offer. Photographs, details, how to register, fees, all of that is on our website. So come see us. We have lots of fun things going on. And on the 8th, it will also be kind of a soiree day for us on October 8th. And so we'll have a pottery project. It's a ghost votive. It's super cute. I should have brought it in here to show. But we'll have a ghost votive that you will make. And I'm not sure what other walk-in workshops. We'll have face painting for sure. So we might have one or two other workshops that day. So that's on October 8th. So come see us soon. Thanks.
If you like old-time country music, or some people refer to it as mountain music, every third Saturday here at the Art Guild, a bunch of people get together from 1 to about 4, and they just play good old country music.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson. I'm here at the new South Walton Community Center, and boy, it is really nice in here. The citizens are really enjoying coming out here, so get a chance to come down to Social Circle. If you're a member at Felker or Meridian, you're also a member here at South Walton now. It's not crowded at all, so it's a great place to come and work out. We have all brand new equipment upstairs here at the community center. We have a 1/14 mile walking track, so if it's raining like it's been doing every day or too humid outside to really get any exercise in, it's a great place to come and walk, exercise. We have a free weights hall downstairs, so great place to come and to work out. We've actually moved our administrative office here also, so make sure if you're a new person to come in, you want to talk to me, just ask for Jody, and my office is right here at the community center. So also want to let you know about our basketball program that's getting started. Some of the games will be here at the community center at South Walton, at Felker, and at Meridian Park, and in our gym at Nowell. It's September 12th through the 17th. The cost is $95 for everybody that wants to participate. We have ages 5 through 18-year-olds. So make sure you come in and register. Most people register online. Just go to waltoncountyga.gov to get registered for that. And again, the cost is $95 and from ages 5 through 18. So we have a lot of kids to play. Last year we had over 1,000 kids participated in our youth basketball program. So we're looking forward to getting that started. We're actually it's getting close to Labor Day, which means all of our fall sports programs are all underway. Our baseball and softball and soccer programs and our cross country have all started and have been participating. And we'll keep going through the 1st of October. Our football program, which Monroe, Loganville, and Walnut Grove are all participating in the North Georgia Youth Football Association, and they'll start on September 10th, and they'll play at all the local high schools this year. The high schools getting upgraded to all new turf fields. The kids are really excited about going and playing at their local high schools where they eventually will play their high school football. They'll also be traveling all over from Oconee to Winder. The league goes all the way up to even Raven, even though we don't play them in the regular season. It's all part of the North Georgia Youth Football League. So it's a huge football league, and we're looking forward to seeing how our youth stack up against all of the teams in the North Georgia region. So looking forward to all of our fall sports. Don't forget basketball registration's coming up, and when you can, come join one of these community centers and let's stay fit, Walton County. So remember, sportsmanship starts at home, and we'll see you at a park real soon. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, the Air Splash Park in between has been doing great. It had another fantastic year where we had another over 15,000 people that attended the Splash Park. We had a lot of birthday parties. Every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was booked throughout the year. So we do appreciate everyone coming out and supporting the Splash Park. Unfortunately, we will be closing just before Labor Day. The attendance has really gotten down. The weather has not helped out a whole lot, and it's with school in, we're only open 4 to 6 anyway, but we are closing the Friday before Labor Day. That's kind of been the plan all along. And we'll open up again next year in May, and we look forward to a third fantastic season. We do have pickleball out there and the dog park that is located out at Ayers Park. The pickleball's been well attended. We're opening up the brand new Frisbee golf course out there in between. We've got signage that's going up as we speak, and there is about a quarter of a mile, or actually a half a mile, nature trail. And I can't guarantee it, but there's a lot of deer out there. So if you want to see some nature, lots of squirrels and deer and all out there. So Frisbee golf course, it's kind of to the in the woods, the large pine trees. People in the parking lot to the right, and then the pickleball courts that are first come, first serve. I'm sure if you go out there, whoever's playing would probably love to either teach you the game, play, rotate games in. It's just kind of like a friendly family type game. So I know my family tries to go out every Sunday, every chance we get, and have a family outing and rotate the players in. So go out to Ayers Park, and we look forward to next May when we will open it back up. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm Isaac over at Reboot. Going to give you a Reboot tech tip today. Just want to talk a little bit about Windows 11. Windows 11 came out, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, something like that. And don't recommend using Windows 11. Typically, the way Microsoft works is every other generation of Windows is an unfinished product. So, like, I don't know, y'all might remember Windows Vista. Windows Vista was basically unfinished Windows 7. Windows 8 was unfinished Windows 10. And so I don't know if it's a money thing about why they send out the unfinished product, or maybe it's a test thing so the consumer can work out all the bugs or whatever. But so Windows 11 is that unfinished product. So and I think Windows 12 or whatever they're going to call it is supposed to come out. I think it's like 2 years from now or a year from now, something like that. So Windows 12, or again whatever they'll call it, will come out before Windows 10 goes out of service. That's what we recommend. Don't mess with Windows 11. It's got a whole bunch of glitches. For the most part, it's pretty much a nightmare. They changed a bunch of stuff, and it's just difficult to deal with. So if you go out and you get you a new computer, try and get one that still has Windows 10 on it, or computer places can generally downgrade them or do something a little different for you if you want. But yeah, so try to stay away from Windows 11. I know here at Reboot we sell Windows 10 still, and we'll continue to do that as long as we can. But anyway, that's it for today. Isaac giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
Living life to the fullest. Emphasis on living. This is what makes life, life. Yet how much of life are we willing to miss out on? Untreated hearing loss affects our mobility. It increases the risk of falls by 50%. Good hearing health is essential to staying engaged and doing what we love. Hear well and stay vital. Get a hearing health check every year.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.